All right, let's get into this. If you were thinking about stocking up on some chain, you better hurry up. Husqvarna has taken a pretty significant increase in the price of their chain. Now, I will say, in Husqvarna's defense, I buy my chain through work, and they're a Husqvarna dealer. The price of the 100-foot rolls has remained constant for, I don't know, 2 years. So, good on them for holding it out as long as they can. But this increase was silly. I believe the loop prices have kind of inched up, and then this final increase that just came really put the price of chain at a premium. Now, that being said, there's some good news. Some dealers may still have some inventory on hand, and they haven't bought chain at these new prices. So, this is one of those ones you want to call around. I did manage to find some deals on the old interweb where, again, I feel like this is one of those where you can find some stuff. But so here's her C83. So that's your pro chain. And I want you to look at this. So a 20-inch chain is $32.99, 72 drive lengths. A 24-inch, for the Husky guys, 25, it's the same length chain, 84 drive lengths. $37.99 is MSRP. And, I pulled up just to see, Tractor Supply carries this stuff, and they are right in line. Look at there, $37.99 MSRP all the way. Lowe's, 24-inch, 84 drive length, X-Cut C83, and they're at $37.96. Whew, good Lord. So with that in mind, I was like, okay, let's find a comparable. Not pitching anybody. This is just one of the first ones that came up. So you can still find, now look at that. That is a massive savings right there. I found a couple of suppliers. Logger Chain is another one. Great service from these guys. Loggerchain.net. He always seems to have some of that. They sell a ton of Oregon products, but let's see if we can, EXL 78, 84, he's at 26 bucks. Of course, that's going to be with some shipping, and I don't know what shipping was going to be from this other company right here. But if you'll look, if I click on, let me find my bearings here while I'm doing this, on a 100-foot roll, that reflects new pricing. They haven't changed their pricing on the loops that they have on hand. So now's the time. Now, let me pull up my Excel spreadsheet here from the 70s. There's my Excel spreadsheet from the 70s, notepad. Called my local Stihl dealership. A 20-inch chain's $26.50, and this is for 33 RS, so that's your yellow pro chain. $31.50 for a 25-inch chain, and $42.50 for a 36-inch chain. I also pulled numbers for the skip tooth from Husky, and those prices are pretty lofty as well. But like I said, that roll cost went up $85. I did talk to my rep, and he said that they decided to take one big increase instead of doing some small stuff, and hopefully that will carry them through the rest of the foreseeable future. But I think you got to be really smart about where you spend your money and where you buy up. It was time to me to buy some files, and I used the Valorbe files, the 7/32, and most everybody wants like $34 or $5 a box for a dozen. That's pretty significant because they used to be like 20, 22 bucks. You could buy them from Madson's, and they do some quantity discount and get you down to about $16, $17 a box plus shipping. And I was able to find somebody that had some new old stock, I guess you could call it that, new old pricing, in those files, and I scored them for like $16.99, and that was, you know, $16.50 by the time I got them here. But I think their files by the dozen were $14.99, and then a few bucks for shipping. I think I bought like 8 dozen files, and that should last me for a while, and hopefully one of these days we'll come back down to reality. But I think everybody needs to be well aware that, you know, some of those prices we saw that were significantly cheaper, if you use chain at all, and this goes out to tree companies, this goes out to loggers, this goes out to, you know, even a good firewood cutter. I mean, if you're gonna go through a handful of chains, you know, buy now and shop first, then buy, because you'll find wildly different prices. So let's move on to the next thing. Now, if you really want to get thrifty, or smart, however you want to call it, buy a spinner and a breaker. Buy your chain by the roll. I highly suggest setting up a table. So if you look here, I've got my common sizes. There's the 100 length mark. So all this is for 3/8, you know, but 72s right here. So all my common ones, and I've just got a small pin right here. Poke that in, come down, mark the length of my chain, break it, and then mend it back together. When you buy a box or a roll of chain, you'll get nice little boxes to put your stuff in so you can stay nice and organized, and it comes with the tie straps to mend the chains back together. They'll typically send you more than you'll need, which is nice. So you'll end up with some spares just in case. So let me show you how much you can save by doing your own chain. Come over here to my 1980s Excel spreadsheet. So if you bought a 100 foot roll, I found one place online, it was $3.49. and shipping was included. I hate to say that phrase, free shipping. Shipping is included in the price. A 100 foot roll of 3/8 50 gauge is gonna give you 1,640 drive lengths, which means your price per drive length is 21 cents. It's like 21.3 cents each. So your 20-inch chain now becomes $15.36. That's significantly cheaper than what we're looking at right now. Your 24/25-inch chain is going to be $17.64, and a 36-inch chain in Stihl is going to be $23.94, and you'd have to add another 21 cents to make a Husky 115 drive length 36-inch chain. So with a little bit of effort, and yes, there's some upfront, and you have to weigh in what you know, what your needs are. So, you know, if you only use a couple of chains a year, then, you know, I'm sorry I wasted your valuable time. If you go through a fair amount of chain, I'd like you to take this time to ask you to give a little thumbs up and do your thing. So when we make our own chains, it really gives you a lot of flexibility. Once you get good at it, it doesn't take that much time. But your upfront cost for a spinner and breaker, you know, it's probably gonna be a couple $100, you know, but that's gonna pay for itself. Even last week when I saw the price increase on the rolls, and at work I have the same kind of table made up where I'm very efficient, you know, where I'm not counting drive lengths every time I'm breaking a chain, where I can just mark it, break the chain, mend the chain, and throw it in a box. You know, I can make multiple size chains and just, you know, give myself a little shopping list and say I need, you know, 5 of these, 10 of those, 6 of these, and I just filled up our cabinet in lockup. Once you start doing that, you know, especially if you're using a lot of chain, you'll have to teach several people how to make chains. And, you know, there's a little bit of a learning curve there. You know, when you mend the chains back together, you know, that spinner, you're going to have to come to a point where it's just tight enough, but not too loose. If it's too tight, it'll actually pinch the straps together and the chain won't flex. You won't actually be able to go around the end of the bar. So you have to break that out and start all over again. But no worries, you know, easy enough just to punch it out and mend a new chain. It takes a little bit of practice to do it well and to get a little quicker at it. But I think I made like 30-something chains, and it took me just a little bit over an hour. And that included, you know, making all the different size chains I need, marking the boxes, putting them in the storage cabinet, make sure everything's all nice and neat lined up in there. So it's really not that much. I was talking earlier about that. I went back and looked at the price of chains. So through the Husky dealer portal, I wanted to make sure even at this new price that the rolls, 100-foot rolls are coming in, we're still saving money by me taking my time and making loops. And basically across the board, you know, we're talking dealer cost to dealer cost. The price of me making the loop as opposed to buying a box with a pre-made loop in it was anywhere from $4 to $6.50 difference in between making it yourself and buying it nice and neat in a box. And that's dealer cost to dealer cost. And it looks like we see this as well, even in a retail standpoint. You know, if you're able to buy a roller chain for $350 or $360, whatever it is, obviously there's some significant savings there for you. So be smart. And, you know, with everything going up, I had a customer call me the other day and said, man, what about using used motor oil, you know, for my bar oil? And I was like, well, you know, you got to strain it. You know, it's going to be a little harder on your rubber and the seals and stuff like that. I mean, you know, people get away with it. We talked about it in my oil thread. But if you shop it around, you know, Home Depot still has Echo bar oil, so far as I know, in the last couple weeks, at like $12.95 or $12.50. There's a local auto parts store. They're still holding it $10.50 a gallon for bar oil. So I'm like, you know, you can do that. And he was like, cool, I'm on my way. Thanks for the heads up. So, you know, chat up these deals with your friends and your neighbors. And hopefully we can get through this. Anyway, thanks for your time today. Appreciate y'all watching. Have some updates on the Wiseco Piston 661 soon. It's pretty much a washout here today. So I'm taking it easy and watching a little college football. Y'all have a great day. Thanks.